Okay, I've hit the go live button thing, so
Right.
we're a bit early, but that's just to give me a couple of minutes just to shallow-waddy who.
Sharpening and turning.
And I've just done 2 swipes to zoom in a bit, so it should be, you'll have to tell me, but I've guessed this. So
Stace makes his on. Yeah, I think it looks all right.
okay. Well, hi Stacey, or Stace, whichever you prefer. Probably Stacey's your Sunday name. Well, it is Sunday. Yeah, we're a bit early, Stace, so I'm just getting the camera lined up. And what we've started doing is I've turned off my accessibility functions on the phone just for YouTube Live, so it's not chirping up with notifications. I'll still get the notifications, it's just you won't hear the audible notification that I normally do, so we'll turn that off just to make it not as much as an interference. Anyone else, Nicola? We are a bit early.
Yeah, there's Blue Light Turner,
Hi Scott.
Wood Ninjas Woodturning, Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft,
Hey up.
Stacey's perfect, Stacey when I'm in trouble.
Alright Stacey.
Gary Jones.
Hi Gary. And that's it.
That's it for now, yeah.
I won't actually get started. If you can let me know when it is actually 7:30, that's fine.
Okay, 1927.
Right, okay, so we've got a few minutes.
Blind Turner.
Hi Nick. So I should be in frame there where I am.
Yeah.
So let me just crank this up to the right height. Until I feel water. Dancing over the stone.
The Cat and the Fish Crafting.
Hello, Cat and Fish.
Dewey's Shed.
Hello.
David McClellan Woodturning and Crafts.
Hi, Dave.
The Cat and the Fish Crafting says never seen a Tormek with such a shiny stone.
Well, all will be revealed shortly. This is a Tormek accessory. What time are we on now?
1928.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, all will be revealed in a couple of minutes, so you can keep guessing as to why it's shiny. It's not that hard, you should get it. I have very, very clever and intelligent followers and subscribers, so you'll be able to work it out, but I will be explaining what it is. 1929. Right, well, I'm going to get started. So, can they see me? I've bent forward. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. So, welcome back to the Blind Woodturners workshop. I'm Chris Fisher RPT. So, what have we got in store for tonight? I'm going to stand up now. What have we got in store for you tonight? Well, first of all, I'm going to do a bit of sharpening, just really to explain the process when you're blind, and how I'm able to sharpen my own tools, and the way I go around it, and a couple of sneaky little adaptations that I have to use to be able to do this on my own instead of asking Nicola all the time to come and assist me. So yeah, for those of you Cat and Fish that said, oh, I've never seen such a shiny Tormek stone, that's because this is a diamond stone. This is the Tormek DF 250. So 250 is the 250 millimeters in diameter, and the DF is diamond fine. Now they do 3 flavors in the diamond stone. They do the extra fine, which is 1200 grit. They do the fine, which this is middle of the road, 600 grit, and they do the coarse, 300 grit. So this is middle diddle. It's a great stone, and Pontus, the boss, the CEO of Tormek, and Clive Daly, who works for Brimark, the importers of Tormek into the UK. This is the stone I demonstrated at Harrogate last year, and they said I could keep it as a thank you. So yeah, it's a diamond stone, and the great thing about this is it never needs truing, and also you do not need to apply as much pressure as you would do with one of the conventional Tormek stones. The one thing you do have to do though is, because this wheel is metal and the diamond is suspended in a nickel plating, you have to add this anti-corrosion concentrate into your trough of water, and this will stop the metal. This wheel, incidentally, is hollow. It's a plastic body, so it's considerably lighter than the stone wheel. So the way that I do it, I've worked it out. It's 10 millilitres per trough of water, per bath of water. So it's 2 capfuls, so there's one. I know when it's hit, I just have my finger resting on the top lip of the cap, so as soon as I feel the cool fluid hit my finger, I know that the cap's full, and I'll just wipe that. Just got a bit of tissue here, so I know now that that's got its 10 millilitres of the anti-corrosive solution in there. So if I just, again, I know when the trough's at the right height, because if I just gently touch that, I can feel a film of water on the stone surface. So I know that's in place. Right, so yes, I use the Tormek system because it is inherently very safe for anybody to use, especially me. And with the jigs, I am assured, just like if you use a Wolverine or a true grind or a one-way jig, whatever jig you use, obviously you're getting repeatability. But the Tormek system of jigs is very easy, and they all go on this universal support arm. The other jigs obviously are for use with high speed grinders, which if anything was going to inflict a serious injury, one of those would have. So anyway, I will be doing a simple spindle project for beginners, and well, for anybody of any ability level. They're lots of fun. So it's spindle turning, so I thought I would show just quickly how I use a couple of different jigs, and here is my spindle roughing gouge. So lovely little gouge. I have the Tormek tape on there with the jig settings, protrusions and hole A or B, so distance of the arm from the stone on there, so if I have a student they can see that. But obviously that's no use to me, so I have a little pen friend label here. So this is a little device. A lot of you have seen this in operation before, but there's nothing like going over something again, because it is, even I think it's interesting. And this device, a bit like a little microphone, I am able to store messages on, and the device correlates the message with a unique code that's part of this label, and I've got hundreds of these labels. So if I just move that over there, 75A. So because this is a roughing gouge, only two settings are important to me. So the 75 is the protrusion through the jig. So we have here the TTS 100 turning tool setter, and this is really the magic behind the whole system. The holes A and B, A being the furthest away, B being the closest. This enables you to get the same grind time and time again, regardless of stone diameter. On the back here, there are steps, and they are 55, 65 and 75. So if you remember what the label said, 75, so I need this far right step here. So the jig that we use for the roughing gouge, it's the SVS 50. This also comes with another part, a saddle, which you can alter the angle, which is a great way of sharpening your skew chisels, both straight and curved skews. But I haven't got the saddle fitted into this. In fact, I've got two SVS 50s because when I was demonstrating, they said rather than me fiddling, putting the saddle in and back and out, I could have one just set up permanently for roughing gouges and the other one for skew chisels. So basically, I'm going to put the tool through the jig, and then what I need to do is I will put this just on the bed of my bandsaw behind me, and then you will hold that forward, lock the jig in place and secure the tool at a protrusion of 75mm, 3 inches through the jig. So I'll just do that off camera. I can be more accurate and just hold things a lot straighter doing it this way, so it only takes a second. Just need to clamp that in place, just take my time.
Wood Ninja says he's going to send all his tools to you to sharpen.
Oh, thank you very much, I've not got enough to do. So there we have it. So that's locked in place now, 75mm protruding, and it said hole A, so it's the furthest one away. So what you do is you move the bar forwards or backwards, universal support, forwards and backwards, until these two little wheels come into contact with your stone. So regardless of stone diameter or whether or not it's diamond or the conventional stones or the Japanese stones, whatever, it works. So that is now the jig set up and the distance from the stone set up. So what we need to do is you hold, it's a bit different with this and it does take more practice. You hold this butted up against the arm, nice and flat and straight. So we're after quite, it's best to keep your roughing gouges at that 45-degree angle. You don't really want them to start sloping more than that. So this is nice and slow and controlled. So I just hold that there and then just roll it, and I am applying forward pressure and downward pressure, and all we're after is just a couple of passes just to sharpen that, which it has. So that's got a lovely sharp, clean, fresh edge. It literally takes just a few passes and you're just putting a fresh edge. It's not that long since this was sharpened. And on the other side here, if you want to, you can remove the burr on the profiled leather reels on the other side, but I won't bother. So that's roughing gouge done. So obviously me describing what's going on has made the time a lot longer than normal. If I'm doing that in between the turning session and I'm just here, it takes 1 minute for me to do the jig, do the arm, boom. That's the roughing gouge all sorted. I'll put that out of the way. So what I've got here now is a selection of 2 spindle gouges. So these have 2 different bevels. This, just remove that. This has quite a standard all-round sort of like, not a beginner's level bevel, what you'd call a standard profile. and this is at 45-degree bevel angle. So it's not that intimidating if you are a beginner. So 45-degree, and the wings aren't swept back that far. So again, and I've got a little diagram to show you something in a moment. We'll just turn the pen friend on again. So that beep says she's on. 265A. So it said 265A. So we'll turn that off, but it does auto power off after a few minutes. So 265A. So what I have here now is going from the SVS 50, which I shall put away in my Tormek drawer. I've got here now the SVD 186. So this is an amazing jig for doing your bowl gouges, and depending on how you have this set up, your protrusions and your angles and distances, you can get standard profiles, you can get Ellsworth grinds and swept back grinds and all sorts of things. So basically this goes onto there, and you know, using that sort of motion, as you do with a lot of other jigs, you can get your swept back grind on. So the SVD 186 is it's an improvement over the SVD 185 for one main reason for me, and it was Nick Agar that said I had to get the 186, not the 185. The nut here that slackens off the jig setting, that has, I don't know if you can hear, a positive click. So that, with it being all the way back at 90 degrees, that's 0, and then click, click. That's position 2. Underneath there is cast into the alloy numbers and marks, graduations, but for me I can just go off the clicks. So that's, we know it's 2 we need. And then if we remember the TTS 100, 65, so that's the middle one, and it was hole A again. So I'm just going to go off camera and lock this down. So we need 265A. So I'm just holding it against that middle step. And there you go. And because we had it on hole A for the roughing gouge, there's no real need for me to do that. But again, I'll just show so both wheels come in contact, and I can feel that again is position A. Right, I've got a little diagram to show you folks. So this really, I'm reiterating and highlighting what Richard Findlay has said recently, but it's very easy. So I've done a little diagram here. Nicola, is that in frame? I'll give you a second, okay, but I'll just give the people time.
Pull it to your left just slightly. That's better.
Right, okay, so what you have here is a little diagram. So is this the convex or the concave side?
Convex. Right,
okay, so you see, if I'd have thought, I could have put a little bit of tape on there to let me know that it's the convex, but anywho, it's great when you've got a glamorous assistant. So the convex, this is what you're aiming for. So you want a convex grind on the top. This is the right way to do it, and the way you get this is by not spending too much time swinging it around, working on the wings. Really, it's just the bevel and the tip of the tool that we're interested in, really, and bringing the wings back. It's a good way of getting some danger points out of the way. But that's a great little reminder. And then if I flip it over, again, hopefully Nicola can tell me if that's in frame or not.
Just slightly right. Yeah.
Okay, so this is an exaggerated example, but if you spend too much time grinding your wings, you are really going to put this deep concavity into your grind, so it becomes a hook, a very, very sharp beak of a tool. Inefficient and possibly dangerous, and you know, just a great candidate for catches and trying to throw you out your workshop, landing on your head somewhere. So yeah, so I thought I'd do that for you. So you're after just working on the tip a little bit. Obviously you want to get the swing because you're going for a swept back grind probably, so you do have to work on your wings, but a lot of people seem to spend too much time on the wings. So just be wary of that, be cognizant of the fact that too much wing grinding will give you a concavity and it can turn the tool into a hooked angel of death. So we want convex. So don't spend too much time grinding your wings. So I thought I would show you that little diagram. It's hardly Martin Sagan-Smith with his superimposed graphics on the screen, but
I was just going to say.
yeah, it's my version. So 265A, what we have here is, again, we can hold that in place there, get it started. So we're just working on the tip, just applying light pressure. We're just working on the tip, and then we can just swing it around just to give those wings a little bit of a kiss. And that is all that you would need. And a good thing to bear in mind again is that Richard Findlay said, and these are great little hints and tips, they'll help you get through what you need to do. It's that if you can just imagine that your bevel and your tools are dirty, all you want to do is give it a gentle kiss to clean them up. So imagine it that you are just cleaning your tool, and sort of like stop thinking that we've got to grind it and grind it and grind it and get it sharp. All we're really doing is just cleaning the face up, and that's happy days. So there you go.
I've got some questions.
Okay.
Ian in the shed says this looks like a really good setup, but I'm guessing it isn't cheap.
No, this what you're looking at here is £1,000 worth. The Tormek there are lots of clones out there. Tormek was the first, and the motor is designed to last 25,000 hours, which is a lifetime. It's, you know, heavy zinc alloy bodies. It's, you know, impeccably well engineered, you know, made and designed in Sweden, and it's the best. And obviously on this as well, it's got the swivel base. So, you know, if you need to be, if I was on the other side with the support arm vertically, and then you need to spin it round to do some honing, you know, rather than me walking around, you can just spin this around for convenience, which is great. Yeah, so £1,000 worth. That's including the cost of this diamond stone, and they're about £200, these diamond stones each, but last forever and never need truing.
What comes with it when you buy a new Tormek?
Well, it depends on what level of kit you go for, and again, there's different kit levels that you can go, and they do the smaller, you know, T4 bushcraft machines and the smaller T7. This is the T8. It's sort of like the flagship of the range, and they do dedicated knife sharpening ones for professional chefs. But what it'll come with the stone, it'll come with this leather honing wheel, obviously the universal support arm. They're doing some great special offers all the time, and they'll throw in different things. And with this one, the T8, you get, it might be difficult to see, but you get, you'll get your diamond truing tool for truing up your stone. You'll get, this is your flat blade chisels and planes and things like that. You'll get your angle finder and angle setter. You get comprehensive, as well, a grading stone to change the stone from about 200, 220 grit to 1,000. And you get stickers and things like that, and you even get a packet of plasters just in case you nick yourself. And no, that's not a shameless plug for the bloody, what is it you called you lot, the bloody Fingers Club. I don't want to join, thanks. But yeah, depending on what you get, you're looking at between maybe £500 to 1,000. Again, depending on what you want. And then I've got this one. Now this has got more of a swept backed, a real 30-degree bevel. This is 255B. So we've already got the jig on 2. So this will be the first protrusion, 55. Now I'm just going to lock this into place off camera. And then this is hole B, so that's the one closest. So again, move the bar forward until both wheels on the TTS 100 come into contact. And then this is giving us now, we've moved in closer, so it's raising the nose up, giving us the bevel angle we want. And like I say, the comprehensive instruction manual is brilliant, and it gives you lots and lots of suggested settings, and the TTS 100 has a lot of the favourite profiles and most common angles and things on there for you to use. You know, and these favourite and well-loved angles and bevels have been sort of like confirmed by, you know, Tormek, are associated with Glenn Lucas and Nick Agar and people like that, and Phil Irons as well. So it's their input that has gone into making sure that everyone has as much information as they can have to get a very quick sharp bevel and tool. So that's it, folks. That's a very simple but quick review and insight into the Tormek system. There's got lots and lots of jigs. I've got the knife jig, the scissors jig. What else have I got? I've got you get the tool rest for doing scrapers and all sorts of different things. I've got lots and lots of jigs, and I'll get round to doing maybe a more in-depth Tormek video if you want it. If that's something you'd like me to do in more detail, I can do. And that water, because it's not being used that much now and it's got the concentrate in, what I'll do is I'll filter it into this jug and reuse it, because it's got the anti-corrosion concentrate in there, and it's only sharpened a little bit. So that's just on an old computer desk. So
Debbie says she's struggling to sharpen her tools, but she can't afford one of these.
right.
It looks amazing, and you make it look easy to use. Can they use any of the jigs on other sharpening systems?
Well, you can if you've got a normal high-speed grinder, or one that's sort of like middle speed. Let me take this. Ooh. So I don't know if yeah, if you take this and go over to my bench grinder and show them the BGM 100. Ah, my finger's trapped in there.
Sorry.
There you go. Right, show them the arm. So just let me know when you're there.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the BGM 100. So that will turn any grinder really into the Tormek system. So you can use any of the jigs. That BGM, how much are they? About £60?
Yeah, 60, 70 I think it was.
Right, so you buy that and then you can use all the Tormek jigs on that. So rather than spend £600, £700, £1,000 on a Tormek, got to know what to reprofile it quickly, because the Tormek T8 it is slow, but I love that about it. But if you're one of these and you need things doing right now, you can do it at speed and reprofile with the BGM 100 and use all the jigs. So that's cool. So, you know, at a fraction of a cost, you can buy into the Tormek jig system. So that's pretty awesome. Right.
Do you want me putting this in front of you?
Yeah, please, and then you can line all that up. So, well, thanks for listening to that. It's just something I thought I'd make it a bit different and show you how simple and easy the system is. But yeah, they're a great bunch of lads, the Tormek family.
Right, how do you zoom out on yours?
You'll pinch.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Not about the same way on yours. Won't it? You'll zoom.
No, I've got a zoom thing on mine.
Well, yeah, you've got an 11, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some old knocker.
Yeah, I'll just plug this in as well.
So no matter no matter how you are sharpening your tools, if you're using a high-speed system, remember to have some cold water there so you can quench, so you don't lose the temper. Another great thing about the Tormek, you know, I can't see a tool bluing and losing its temper. Losing its temper, its hardness. So, what are you struggling with?
No, it's fine.
All right,
It's fine.
I thought you were loitering. So, yeah, remember, not too much time on the wings. You don't want that concavity turning your tool into a hook. And just take your time, quench. But yeah, the BGM 100 and a couple of jigs, and you can get into the Tormek system for, you know, not a lot of money. So thank you very kindly. So, right, I'm going to do something I love doing, and it's a great beginner's project, and it's a good way to practice some spindle turning. A magic wand. So I love doing those, and it's one of those projects where the possibilities are endless, and you can have a lot of fun. And you know, the world is full of magicians and wizards and witches of all ages because of the Harry Potter thing. So that's awesome. I have had commissions from real white witches and Wiccans and people of the Wicca faith and all that sort of stuff, and I've made wands for practicing white witches. So that's cool. So I've got here a piece of beech. It isn't the longest piece of beech in the world. It's between centres, a steb centre and a cone centre. Again, because of the fibres and the way the grains are going, a cup centre at this end isn't going to spread those fibres too much. It's a much safer way to turn. And of course the steb centre has the spring-loaded popper, so if you get into a lot of bother it can disengage. So yeah, we're going to do a very simple basic magic wand, so you guys can go home and have a practice and have a play around, and once you've done a few you can start, you know, putting lots and lots of beads on, and you know, you can colour them and all sorts of things. So we're going to get started. So just get my face shield. In fact, if I get that piece of cardboard, so I'm not having to fish shavings out of too many shavings out of that trough, I'll just put that cardboard over the top of it. So right, roughing gouge is where it's going to be at first of all. So a spindle roughing gouge, we've just put a little edge on it there now, so we need to just check its position on centre, which is fine. And then tool rest, what I do is just by touch move it, and it's easy with a relatively square bit of stock like this. I can run my finger along the stock and the tool rest at the same time and make sure that I'm pretty parallel. Then I can lock that down into place. Make sure we're not fouling, but it's as close as we can be. And then we can just stand clear and spin it up. So I don't know the exact speed. I'm guessing that sounds about 1,000-ish, maybe a bit more. But that should be fine for just getting the corners knocked off. The tool rest is overhanging. You need a bit of runoff. If you're straight onto the end, if you're parallel with the end and you're falling off, you know, it can be scary when you're not ready for it, and you can sort of like fall then into the tailstock or the work and have a catch. So give yourself plenty of runoff there. So I'm going to come in now about 1.5 inches and feel for my reference point. Let this come up to speed, and then remove the pedal, and then start down and go. Knock them corners off, and I can feel the heel of my palm hit the end of the tool rest. So once I've got to that, I know that I can move it along. So again, it's just mental reference and a sensory reference for me. So again, feel for where that cut ended, moving a little bit, and again. The good tip is you can just put your hand over the top of your gouge and it can act as a bit of a shield rather than them getting flung everywhere around the workshop. It just keeps them in check. So again, just move that back, make sure we're not fouling. Feel for the position. Slide the pedal. Again. Carefully not. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just stop, and then, so once you start knocking the corners off, I'll start now riding my index finger. I'll be clamping this like so, thumb over the top so it's locked down onto the tool rest, index finger running along the back of the tool rest. So this is now acting as a depth stop, like you get a depth stop on a drill. So now it becomes a sensory depth gauge for me, and I'm going to turn the speed up now significantly, and we'll get this motor in. So okay. So index fingers running along the back. Giving me good feedback, information, letting me know what's going on. And then we can just go the other way. And again now, feeling.
ninjas said make another vampire steak.
Yeah, I could do. So again, index fingers running along the back. And then you can use a very, very light touch and have a feel of what's going on. And with a very, very light touch, I can just feel there now. So that is an amazing, very, very smooth cylinder straight off the tool there now. Just them last couple of passes, you are really just gently kissing the work. You've got a lovely sharp tool there, piece of beech, and obviously if you were doing this and it was going to be a chair leg or a spindle leg, obviously you can start getting calipers on it then and things like that to get it absolutely spot on. But just for me to rough that down into a cylinder to start working with, that's cool. So easy peasy. Remember to give yourself plenty of runoff, work downhill, lovely sharp tool. Just take your time, index finger along the back of the tool rest to act as a depth stop, and then just me, even by touch, I can get, you know, something quite cylindrical. But again, if that had to be precision made, you'd start using calipers. But there you go, easy peasy. Right, so what we're going to do is just get this a little bit thinner, really. But what I can do, just while I'm thinking now, is get a parting tool. And what I'm just going to do now initially is just, you guys will use a pencil, I'll just use this parting tool to give me a tactile mark, but we'll turn the speed right down. About right. So I'll just mark the it's nice and gentle. I'm going to give myself just a very slight groove there for now. And then what we need to do is roughly, I like to make sure that my hand would fit around the handle. So again, I just put my hand on there. If this was for a child, you could obviously change that to beat. Then I'm just going to guess this. So that's going to give us a little bead there, and then I can feel for where that little mark was. But we don't want to go too deep in here, because what we're going to do is going to be weakening the timber, and we've still got the business end of the wand to deal with. So what I've got here now at the minute is just the tool rest is at a slight angle, so we can carry on just beginning to remove this end. Feeling for where I'm going on. remember angling your tool rest will start making you naturally go to that taper. So. So yeah, this is what we're after. Obviously you want a relatively slim, you don't want it to go too thin that it's going to be easy to snap or break. Just check. Now my tool rest height, obviously as you're changing tools, you know, you're having to change tool rest heights depending on the, you know, the bar thickness of the tool you're using. So remember, when you change your tool, check your centre heights. Especially when you're new, when you're new to woodturning, as your skills progress and develop, you'll get a feel for a lot of things. But it's still always good practice to check. Doing now. Riding the pedal. Really getting this locked in it. And then we can come in from this side. Bring things down. So you can hear now that as it's thinning down, you're getting some harmonics and some changes in the sound there.
What percentage of your process is touch and feel as opposed to visualisation? Are there any other factors in the process?
It's more, well, it's the visualisation is constant. The touch and feel is like, as you've seen me do it, stop, feel, stop, feel. So it's a big part, but I'd probably say, you know, it's a lot, but maybe 60% is touch and feel. That's the wrong way to describe it. It's all visual imagery, but if I was to say what goes along with that, about 60% of the time that I'm visualising it, I'm stopping to touch and feel and things like that. So a bit of a different cut, more of a plain cut now. And remember, you can get your hand the top, it provides support. And as that's going, my hand's going over as well, and my hand is feeling any undulations. So as I'm going along, I might feel a little transition or a bump, so I can address that. But again, careful where I need to be. So we're working back towards, see if I can feel that there. So nice and steady, you keep it. And making sure I've got a good bevel contact there, and you can tell, and you can also stop and just do it by hand.
Baz has sent you £9.99 in super chat.
Has it?
Yeah.
Baz. So again, you can have your hand over the back. Just take your time. It's like a tiny little built-in steady rest.
He knows he's done another £9.99.
Who has? Baz, have you won the lottery? Stop it. Honestly. So we can feel here now on the bead. Start shaping this. Working downhill. Remove this quickly. So as I'm working all the time, as I'm doing this all the time, I'm trying to think of pictures and shapes and designs and styles and everything. So that's all pretty cool. Where was that other one? Let's have a feel. So I've changed now to the more pronounced, advanced detail gouge now. So this is for, you know, if you've got a reasonable amount of skill, you know. I'm sure I've heard somewhere it says like for professional level turners only or advanced level turners, but so yeah, it does need a lot more skill to use this, so I would recommend that you persevere with sort of like a standard profile. Maybe just sweep the wings a bit more than the one that I've got on there, but it's great for sort of like spindle hogging out as well. So continuing to work on that handle shape. So just have a feel. That is obviously a bit too chunky. So if I just into this one. Again, getting some harmonics there. So we can just stabilise that. So down from one side and the other, you get that in, and so it's give ourselves that bead there. So we're just down on one side and on the other, and that's going to give you that bead, which is cool. So depending on what style of wand you want to go for, you could go for a little bead here, you know, or a bit more of a bigger what you call a pommel, like on the end of a sword handle, to stop it flying out of your hands, depending on how aggressive you are with your spell casting. Well, let's just work a bit more on this handle. So
The cat and the pig.
go on.
She sent you 50 Swedish kroner, is it?
All right, yeah, thank you so very much. Really appreciate that. So again, we're just working on that. And we can just move where I need to be again. Well, to our dear friends over in Sweden, I shall say,
Mangatak.
well, that's Danish, Mangatak, many thanks, and skål. So, that's happy days. Just reduce the thickness of this here. Let's have a feel. Just ride that there gently. Get the transition there. So obviously you can make these exactly how you want. You can get as funky as we need. Yeah, thank you so very much. You know, we really do appreciate anybody. Is that the super chat thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Does anybody know how you get at this?
Yeah, yeah, I know how to do it.
Do you know how to do it
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Right. It's alright. Disregard that last statement. But yeah, for anybody that supports us, of course, we thank you immensely. And it does mean the world to us.
Well,
so thank you.
everything helps, doesn't it?
Every penny.
Viewing,
Every penny.
likes, comments, thumbs up.
Everything. It's a
So-
huge boost for us, you know, as a source of energy spiritually. Odin would be proud. So what I'm doing there again is I'm just marking that end spot. But cognizant of the fact of the point from the steb and your cone, it's not that far in on the cone, just going into your work. So if you're parting through, be careful you don't want to hit that because you'll blunt your tools at the very least, and it might make you jump a little bit. So we're going, yeah, a simple wand. That's a lovely little shape. And I like to, if I was doing this for a commission or something like that, what I would do is I would make this really gnarly and go at it with the Dremel, and you know, but what I've done is I've left it a bit with an undulation here and there just to make it look a bit more organic. And then I don't want to go uber thin down this end because we're between centres here. Bit of a skip there. That was just because it caught the right hand side, it was unsupported, and it just wanted, you know, like you do when you're using the roughing gouge, and sometimes if you come back too far it'll sort of like want to run off and get carried away. It just happened there on the right hand side. So obviously because I can't see things, sometimes every now and then I'll just get a little bit of a skip. So that's good. It's just all reference points, and it's a good reminder for me to say, well, you're at the end of the work there, and obviously it's sloping up, so I just have to quickly reprogram my brain on the fly, which is cool. So feel for where I need to be. And then again, I can just
Chris,
yeah,
what lathes do you have?
blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Axminster AT1416. They've changed all the model numbers now. This machine is still available, but it's been rebadged to a weird number. I don't know if it's to bring it more in line with the American way of numbering machinery, but it's the 1416, so it'll take 14 inches over the bed, so reasonable size bowl, 16 inches between centres, but you can get a bed extension as well if you wanted to do longer spindle work. Did anyone else join, or is it just a few with us tonight, really?
There's 46 watching.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. So,
But let's read some more names out because there's a few more
Yeah.
come on now since I did it the first time round. Karam Hussein, he's asking, do they all have electronic variable speed?
No, sort of like the entry level Axminster lathe will be a fixed speed unless you change the belt and pulley ratio. But it's sort of like you have to go a model or two up to get the variable speed. But if you can afford it, I'd get a lathe with variable speed, because it just makes the machine a lot more adaptable and user friendly, and great for things like sanding, and you know, if you're turning off sensor and things like that, you can slow the speed down and just be a bit more cognizant of what you're doing. So
we've got Baz, we've got the cat and fish crafting, the Flaming Turner, Wayne Bigfoot, Ice Speckled Hens, Midnight Joker, Daniel Parker, you are amazing, love your videos.
thank you.
Midnight Joker's sanding, so not chatting much. Mercy Island Woodturner, David McClernan, Bespoke Creations, Jeff Christie. Sorry if I miss anybody, it's really hard going back reading them all. The Blue Light Turner, Wayne Bigfoot, Steve Twidell.
Hi Steve.
Wayne Fennell, Wood Ninjas, Wood Turning. I said Midnight Joker,
Yeah.
Leona Fay,
Hi Leona.
Jeff Christie, Wayne the Wood Turner.
Hi Wayne.
I'm just wondering if I've got every. Chris Nunn, Debbie Beardo, Ian in the Shed, Stace Makes, Ultan Moore, Stephen Mellor, Real Simple Things, The Old Boys Shed.
Hi Paul.
So I hope I got everybody. Sorry if I missed you, just trying to read back. It's never very easy on these comments.
Never very easy. So I'll just give that a little kiss with the scraper. So I just need to very lightly just kiss that.
Steve says, do you do much skew work?
No.
Short answer. That'll be a no then, Steve.
Yeah, that'll be a no, Steve. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Lindsay Gardner.
Well, we've got a nice little posse with us this evening.
We have, haven't we? Yeah.
Lovely little posse. What was that thing that I put down? Put it down. Alright, there it is. Right, so, in
Chris,
fact... Yeah.
I need you to turn an entire chess set so I can be inspired to start mine, please.
Who's that from?
Wood Ninja. Steve says, well, he answered the question, lol.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a bit of sanding now, so I hope you can still hear me. But me wearing this, it's quieter than having the dust extraction on. So this is the paste wax, and it will just keep that dust down a bit more. So just keep this moving. And this sanding wax makes a little slurry. La 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 la. This won't take long. And as I'm sanding and feeling with my fingers, it lets me know how it's getting on, how it's progressing.
What grit are you using?
This is 120. La, la, la. Got some 180 here now. So we're just keeping this nice and simple. Getting nice and smooth now. And just keeping those little undulations on this part to give it more of an organic feel.
Oh, Real Ales at Huddersfield. The club in Huddersfield.
Alright. Hi guys. So we're just sanding the 240 here now.
Wood Ninja says when you come to do a demo at his shop, don't forget to bring your Tormek.
Alright, yeah. So we're nearly there now. So remember, this is and always was intended to be a beginner's project, so I'm going to keep it as simple as I can for you. Just put that down for a moment. So I'm just keeping the simple shape that you can, you know, hopefully copy for your first magic wand. But it is me, so I'm going to put a little bit of texture on the handle, just, you know, so it would add a bit of a non-slip feel. So I'm just going to quite simply get my small spiraling and texturing tool. Yeah, I thought I'd do something for the beginners, anyone that's not been turning very long, anyone that hasn't turned a magic wand. Yeah, lots of fun, and I've done loads and loads. And the one that I did a couple of weeks ago, the Merlin style one with, you know, coloured and textured and gilded, you know, that feels amazing. So you really can, you know, make them completely amazing. Yeah, great little tool. So I've got the small texturing tool. Just make sure you've got enough room so you do not get fouled up. Have it nice and slow. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to just put one there and then one there and just feel roughly where it is. So it's very simply, you've got 3 pretty cute little spirals on there, and all that does is give you just a slightly little tactile surface, something with a bit more grip, and yeah, it's feeling nice. And obviously you wouldn't really want to just leave it like that, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a line on the top and the bottom. You could do a line either side if you wanted. Entirely up to you. So I've just got one of the Blind Woodturner detail carbide. So all I'm going to do is just be up where it needs to be. Just turn the speed up. So just a line below, and feel for a line above. Just gentle pressure, don't want to go too deep. In fact, I am just going to break that up. Stop, feel, move along. Just some little harmonics there. So it's not got a lot. Just a little bit. And then I could even just mark. And you know, I really do love using lots and lots of different tools and styles on a project. Mix it up as often as I can. And that way, you know, you're always dipping your toe back into a tool or a technique. Again, just feel for where I need to be. Just don't want to go through too thin here. And also the fact that because of the nature of my disability, you know, I have to be very adaptable, as a lot of disabled people do, and that carries through into using my tools and, you know, always keeping safety at the forefront of my mind of what I'm doing, but thinking, you know, what can I do? And, you know, this tool here, if I do that, but what happens if, you know, if you bend it over to the right, and it's almost like using it like it had a bevel, and the round tipped general purpose carbide, you know, a lot of people just go straight in, but it works really well if you do start angling it, and you'll get a bit more of a, you know, a skew cut with it, and it'll start planing. So all that is really, really good.
What wood is this?
Beech.
Right.
So I've got some nye web, so I'm just going to denib the texture, and then excuse me,
Old boys shed say hi, Chris.
hi Paul. So I've got some wire here, so I'm going to put a burn line, a burn mark rather. Just turn that speed up.
Are your ones available on Diagon Alley?
Diagon Alley. I wish they were. So I know it's burnt because I can smell it. Ta-da! So there you go. Again, I've just delineated that and just made it a bit more. So that's very hot. Be careful. I'm just going to discard that and put it on the concrete floor where there's no rubber matting. Just denib that. Happy days. So yes, because we've got some Swedish people with us, I am feeling all Scandi. So I've gone clean, I've not gone colours with it, I've gone clean, natural, crisp. It's Scandi Wandy. So I've got some sanding seal here. The last time Nicola went to the supermarket, they didn't have any kitchen towel, so we're on some old paper napkins.
Christmas ones.
What does it say on them?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, happy days. And I've been doing that much, you know, sort of like texturing and colouring of late. I thought I was due something simple and elegant. Even a one simple and elegant. So the purpose of tonight was to show you how I sharpen tools using the Tormek. And a simple beginner's magic wand.
Can you buy them in IKEA, Chris?
These magic wands. Scandi. Well, hopefully the purpose of you lot watching this that haven't made them before is to give it a go. Just denib this now, of course.
Mercy Island's Woodturner says it'll be Christmas before we all get together in person.
It will at this rate. So again, just a second coat of sanding sealer. Just remove that now. Flash off in a second. Let's have a feel which it has. Lovely jubbly. Oh, I still need that. In fact, that's what I wanted to do, just remove my tool rest. So, guess what we're using now? Is it here?
Who's that?
Man of the Grit.
No.
So, get some abrasive paste on. So I am going to steer clear of that texture, and just when this is been rubbed in quite a lot and there's only a tiny little bit left on the tissue, then I will apply it to the rest. I don't want to, as I say, oversaturate the detail. Turn the speed up now.
Bespoke Creation says, hi Chris from Swinton, changed my YouTube name just to let you know.
John, is that you, John, from Swinton? And if it is you, good evening. Hope the family's okay.
Yes, it is.
So, beginning to feel a nice lustre come into this now. Make sure all of this is worked in. That's feeling coolio. So we'll go to the microfine now. So I'd like to ask the question, how many out there listening at the moment, or watching, apart from old boy Shed who's visually impaired, although he might be able to watch a little bit, how many haven't made a magic wand before? And of those that haven't, how many are going to give it a go? A lot of fun. again, keep that speed down. Just get this worked in without it flinging off. Up the speed now.
A few of them have said they've not made one yet, but we'll give it a go. Phoenix says he's got one on the go made from walnut.
Alright, cool, yeah.
Bespoke Creations says one of the first things he made.
Yeah. It's something you just keep coming back to time and time again as well, because, you know, what's life without a little whimsy?
Debbie says she made some for grandsons, but left a stumpy bit on the sharp end to save stabbings.
Yeah.
Bespoke says he now turns pens after your encouragement.
That's good. Pens are good.
Eva says whimsy, such a good word.
Yeah.
Scott says he turns lows, they are one of his best sellers.
Yeah, it's just something I keep coming back to, and you know, I've gone simple and, you know, quite Scandinavian, like I say tonight, just for people that are new to wood turning or maybe haven't done a magic one. But yeah, you can go nuts with them, and you could make them. I've even had commissions for Elder One copies, you know, with the nodules along, and then having the little seed pockets, which is what the indentations are. Lots and lots of fun. You can really get in the zone.
Nathan says he's made lots, they are good fun.
Yeah, good fun. And you know,
And Karam says that's the Sheldon quote, lol.
it is. Yeah, you're a Big Bang fan as well. So what is life without a little whimsy? But this is it, you know, we say time and time again, act your shoe size, not your age. There's a time and a place to be sensible. One of them being at the lathe, I suppose. But you can still do what you're doing. If you know your wood turning ultimately becomes a chore and you hate turning, you know, because everything you do is the same old thing, time and time and time again, you're just going to fall out of love with it. So, you know, every now and then do something that is fun, and, you know, if it's like from the realms of fantasy and, you know, like vampire states and magic wands, and it's just brilliant.
Karam says bazinga.
Bazinga! What we'll have to do, Karam, is get a big ball pool.
Yeah.
And you can hide, and you know, me having no sight can try and find you. You get lots of bazingas in. So this is friction polish now on top of the
He says LMAO.
yeah, that'd be funny.
We like the Big Bang.
Oh, we love it. Listen to it every day. So there you have it. Is it picking up the finish and the shine?
Yeah.
So that's lovely.
The lemon or the lavender mix. Baz says ass.
Yeah, I used that when I was sanding. This then, once it had been sanded to 240, it was sealed, and then Yorkshire grit, and then friction polish.
Karam says I'm sure we can get something sorted for Makers Central.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, ball pool. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be
huge ball
funny.
pool. Yeah.
Gosh, wouldn't that be funny if they actually had one of those?
Mm. It would. It would indeed.
Nathan says he makes lots of games like spinning tops.
Again, once you pick one of those up, you never want to put it down. Yeah, spinning top. They're addictive. So I'm just going to go. Through there. Back in a second, I'm just going to get my.
Steve says hollowing the handle of wands and putting a removable cap on them is a nice addition. You can put secret spells in
Well,
there.
you can, or you could put sort of like a, phoenix feather. You could get
Well,
a feather.
they were talking about dolphin hairs and something else a bit ago.
Mhm. Well, yeah, that's cool. So, what you can do as a beginner is take that off now, and all we need to do is I'll just bring it over here. Be back in a second. Just hold on.
Just talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. So, I'll be back in a second. Stay there. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm just behind you now, guys. Just behind you. He's behind you. Feel for the plug socket.
Yeah, Eva says she saw a Japanese sword.
Yeah. So, I'm coming back now. I'm coming back. I'm I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So basically, yeah, I just take my time then, and on my belt and disc sander, I just hand finish the tip. And again, don't give it a needle point. And like Debbie said,
it's not The Walking Dead.
it's not. And if you have got young children, it's better in fact just to give it a blunt, straight tip. Ba-ba-ba-da-bum. So, make sure that's done there, and then just on the pommel.
Eva says not to be picky, but isn't it a bit short? It's not too bad, is it?
It's not too bad.
Some of them are actually quite short. You know, when we went to York and we
Yeah.
went past that Harry Potter
Yeah,
shop,
yeah, some of them are
some
short.
of them are really short.
Yeah. It's the longest piece of wood I had, Eva, actually. I've got lots of spindle blanks, but none of them are longer than this. But no, you're not being picky. Entitled to your observation. Of course you are. So let's get a bit of a fine abrasive now. Yeah, there's quite a couple. Well, was there a couple of Harry Potter shops in York, or just the one?
I think there were a couple.
I have made ones much longer than this. Quite, significantly longer and thinner.
Bye, Scott. Catch you later.
Bye, Scott.
What angle do you normally use carbides for, a spindle or a wand?
What angle?
Yeah.
Well, you can use them straight on if you're using, the square carbide. Probably best using that straight on. But the round one, you can use it straight on, or you can angle it over 45 degrees and use it as a planing cut. Just experiment and have fun and see, what different effects and styles you can get using different tools, as long as you remember to remain safe, I will say.
Bespoke Creations just ordered a speed sizer from Axminster, but can't get a Merlin 2 for love nor money.
Why, they sold out?
Don't know.
What, from King Arthur's Tools?
Well, I'm guessing, yeah. But I mean, who is it who stocks them? Is it Turner's Retreat?
Turner's Retreat, the Tool Post, and I think, who else was it? Classic Hand Tools.
Custom Hand Tools?
Classic Hand Tools.
Classic.
Oh. Yeah.
they're not from Waxminster anyway.
No, Merlin 2's Merlin 2, unless they're out of stock everywhere in the UK.
Steve sent us €5. Thanks for the live and entertainment, Chris and Nicola.
Thank you very much, Steve. Really appreciate it, pal.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Karam says, Chris and Nicola, Chris and Nicola, Chris and Nicola.
Karam.
I need to head off. Hope to catch you all again sometime. Also, hope you got the reference, of course. Have a good evening.
We do that, you know, when we're demonstrating and we're staying in a hotel. When I come back to the room after taking Bamber out, I go, Nicola on the door, won't I?
Yeah. No stock anywhere in England.
Right, okay.
Probably just all gone because of the virus, hasn't it? And they've probably not been able to ship any.
Well, they're still able to ship. You know, that's one thing. That's one part of the world that I thought was still going. You know, people were able to buy things.
Well, I don't know. Something's obviously not happening somewhere down the line.
Well, Nick Hagar, we could ask.
Yeah.
Because obviously Nick Hagar is in partnership with King Arthur's Tools, and they do the Nick Hagar, well, as the one I've got, the Nick Hagar Signature Series. Because it was at Christmas when Nick and Arthur Aveling of King Arthur phoned us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or phoned you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can ask, but I'm guessing it's something to do with the virus, and I don't know if King Arthur's Tools have, you know, been forced to shut up shop because of the virus. They're in Florida, King Arthur's Tools. So I don't know what state laws are in force. Anyway, so there you have it. Anyway, a simple, albeit shorter than some people either was expecting, but yeah, we have felt them shorter than this, in fact, and I'm sure a lot of them in the Wizarding franchise are, you know, short, and you get some very plain, just really very thin tapered, almost a chopstick, really. And then you obviously get your very elaborate ones, and you get the elder wand and Hermione's one with the, you know, the vines around and things. But yeah, it was just intended as a simple project for beginners and for people that haven't turned a wand before. So
Wood Ninja says it looks great. Wave it and wish us a new Tormek.
Newest Tormekius.
Baz must be very well off. He's given us another $2.99.
Baz.
That's 4 lots now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Baz. Yeah, we shall toast your health, my friend. So there you go, simple Scandi. Yeah, especially having the cat and fish being involved tonight, so I thought I'd go Scandi. So,
well, I needed to make me something similar to that. Because B. Matthews was making bread today, and she'd got something that looked like that, but the bit in the middle, the bead, was a bit wider, and she used it to stir her
a
bread.
spurtle.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it needs to be food safe.
Yeah, it's a spurtle. It's like what you stir your porridge with in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, just
that's my commission.
Yeah, your commission. I've got to make you a spurtle, food safe. So there you have it. So yeah, how I sharpen tools on the Tormek, how I know my jig settings, and how I can use the labels to remind me of the jig setting, how safe and easy it is to use. So there you have it, a simple beach Scandi wand, just with a simple little bead there and a very simple pommel on the end, just to not have it flinging out your hand, along with the simple spiralling that was just delineated with the burn lines. But I did the grooves first because if I just try to hold the wire on there, sometimes it can get a bit skittish. So just give yourself a groove, just so it can track true. So there you have it, folks. So thank you so very much.
That's it then.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, so thank you one and all for joining us tonight. We've had a lot of fun, and next week I'll be back to do something a lot more complexicated. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun, and it was just nice to do some simple spindle turning. Thank you, and everybody that's super chatted.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And everybody that's joined is still here and has already left and gone on to do other things. Thank you all so very much. So until tomorrow night at Home with the Fishers, 7:30 p.m. again UK time, we shall bid you all adieu.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay creative, stay happy, and keep on turning. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Night, Steve Coombs. Thanks for joining us.
Has he just joined us now?
No, I think he came on earlier.
All right, yeah.
But he's missed a few lives.
All right, okay. Hi, Steve.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll be back to waffle on tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, make your magic wands, and I'm going to give this to a kid on the close. That's what I'm going to do with that.
Right.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a piece of wood.